Hi, my name is Ana Francia, and I was healed by God through Vickie. Um, so about like 8-ish years ago, 9, 10 years ago, I did gymnastics competitively, and I had fractured my back, and um, I went to therapy, and everything was good. It was all healed and everything like that. And then 8 years later, when I started playing soccer again, um, in January of this past year, I had re-injured that, and they said it was a nerve or something, nerves in my back, and so I had been dealing with that for like about 6 months. And then my mom, one day, she was like, "Oh, there's a retreat for sanación, for healing and stuff," and then I was like, "Oh, okay, I don't really care." Like, I didn't really think about it. I didn't really believe in that kind of stuff and like the healing. And I am Catholic, but I didn't think that healing was for me, or I didn't think it would work. I'm just gonna keep going the doctor route. And then I remember my mom woke me up that morning. She was like, "Get up, like God's gonna heal you." And I don't know why I went. I just went. I decided to go. And then we got there. I was very hard-headed, very much like Vickie was talking. She was like, "You guys need to open your hearts, this and that," and my heart was not open. I was very, very closed off. And then as she started talking more and more, she started to get more specific, and it felt like it was like direct hits towards me. Like she would be like, "Open your heart. I know I can feel it," and like just saying things very specifically directed towards me, or I felt specifically directed towards me. And then I was like, "Oh, she's talking about me, she's talking about me." And then she got closer. She was standing over here, and then she got closer to me, and I was like, "Go over there, like stay over there, Vickie, stay." And then she got closer, and then I had a shirt on. I had a Paris shirt on, and she had said something about Paris, and I was like, "Oh, she knows who I am." She's closer and closer, inching into me, into my life, I guess. And then we had a little break, and she had said something, and I don't know why I had tears in my eyes, and I'm not a very like emotional crier person, anything like that. So I had like tears in my eyes, and I felt like a little something. I didn't, and my parents were there with me, but I didn't tell them any of that part. And then we went to lunch, and after we had the healing time, and I was around the altar waiting for my turn with Vickie, for my turn with God. And like as Vickie was passing with the other people, I just kept seeing them like faint and everything, and I was like, I had opened up a little bit more, like little by little, but it wasn't like I fully trusted it still. And then they were fainting and like falling in the spirit, I think is what it's like called. And I didn't want that to happen to me, so then I was like closing off a little more and more. And then she came to me, the priest had came to me first, and he prayed over me, so I was like a little bit more calmed down. And then she came to me, and she started praying over me, and like, yeah, I was still very closed off, but I was trying to open my heart. And my parents were behind me, so when Vickie was praying with me, she had said a lot of things that resonated with me, like let go of your guilt, stop thinking about like the resignations that you have and things like that, and like very specific to me. And oh, one thing I forgot about, she had said things about like the doctor's visits, the physical therapists, the x-ray scans, everything like that, forget about it. Like it's not who you are. It doesn't define who you are, which I had been like struggling with that, I guess, basically this whole time with my fracture. And then she said, "You turn to your parents and ask them for forgiveness." I was like, "Forgiveness for what? Like, I'm perfect. I don't need them to forgive me." And then I turned to them, and then I just broke down. Like, I knew what I needed to, for what they needed to forgive me for. They obviously don't still, and I doesn't need to be said, but that happened, and it kind of like, I felt free in the moment, and I felt peace. And not only was I like healed physically later, but like spiritually and in my heart, like I felt like a peace that I haven't felt in a really long time. Like I was free. I had like nothing in my head. Like my head was clear. It was like I was on a cloud. I was free. I was like at peace. And even Vickie, she had told me to touch my feet, and I was like, how did you know that? Like that's when my pain is the worst, is when I'm like bending over, reaching down for something, and it's like, how do you know that stuff? And I touched my feet, and then like I just started crying because I could like not feel the pain so much. And then we walked around the church, and she was still asking me like, oh, what's your pain? What's your pain? And I was like, I can still feel it. And so I believed that I was healed, but I still felt the pain. And then she said, just keep praying this, keep praying the rosary. And like 2 weeks, 3 weeks went by, and then I started training again, and I felt like nothing had ever happened. And I went back to doing what I love, which is playing soccer. And I felt like spiritually, the thing that I was really like the most, I guess, surprised by was that spiritually I was healed. Not just physically, but spiritually as well.
Amen. Thank you so much.